French people, much like dolphins, have incredibly good PR and frequently questionable sex. Their run of good PR has only continued with the release of Pokemon Legends ZA, a game I, an unbiased British person, found significantly more enjoyable than any encounter I've had with my compatriots across the channel. I am Fudj, my degree is in writing, my safety is in doubt, and I implore you to join me today, dear viewer, as we explore France in the most enjoyable way I can imagine, in a video game that isn't real. Even as a work of fiction, Pokemon Legends ZA quite literally opens with you, a tourist, having your things stolen in the middle of the city, and not long after, within the first 2 hours of the game, you are actively being encouraged by other NPCs to sneak up on a backpacker in a dark alleyway and attack him for your own personal gain. If the giant Eiffel Tower lookalike didn't make it clear enough, yes, you are in Paris. Indeed, the region of Kalos, originally explored in 2013's Pokemon X and Y, is this world's interpretation of France. Its largest city, Lumiose City, a stand-in for Paris, is the setting of 2025's Pokemon Legends ZA. It should be unsurprising that France is only the second foreign country that the Japanese developer Game Freak decided to set a Pokemon game in, as Japan's love affair with the idea of France and French culture is well documented. So romanticized is the image of France in Japanese culture that it's literally diagnosable, like an infection. Paris syndrome is a term coined for the idea of going to Paris and experiencing a deep and profound disappointment that it isn't all it was cracked up to be. It was popularized specifically by the experience Japanese tourists had upon setting foot in the city for the first time. Yet, Game Freak did their due diligence when researching the culture and geography of France for Pokemon X and Y, excepting the Stonehenge city, but we'll forget about that for now. And all these years later, they've done it again for Legends ZA. In lots of ways, this interpretation of Lumiose is even more faithful to the real-life Paris than the original. The city is laced with canals and terraced houses, people lounge around at the many cafes that dot the map, and if this side mission where a Slurpuff stops working because he hasn't had his favourite food is anything to go by, even the Pokemon go on strike. Hell, protest is a plot point at one point in this game, the protagonist's main companion speeding off immediately after defeating a rogue Mega Pokemon because, quote, some angry folk are planning to take to the streets. Truly, this could not be a more accurate representation of Paris if the government collapsed midway through the story and there were twice as many Raticates swarming the streets as people. Of course, it is still a video game first and foremost, and thus fun is the utmost priority. To this end, conflict in Pokemon Legends ZA is resolved through frantic, real-time Pokemon battles out on the streets, rather than bilingual verbal jousts that see you called slurs in 3 different regional dialects from 3 different corners of a Parisian cafe for even so much as uttering a word of English. If Pokemon Legends ZA were more committed to realistically depicting Paris than being a fun video game, a man named Jules would descend upon the player with a Mega Garchomp an hour in and wipe out their entire unevolved party the very second they attempted to greet someone with hello instead of bonjour. But Pokemon Legends ZA is fantasy, it's fiction, and thus Paris is a fun and friendly place to explore. Far more than just walking around and battling though, Legends ZA also ups the ante on X and Y's fashion customization, the 3DS originals being the first games in the series to let you buy new outfits for your trainer, I guess because of France's international reputation as a kind of mecca for fashion lovers. And to its credit, Legends ZA certainly gives you a lot of unique options and lets you deck your trainer out with some pretty stylish fits. Though I really don't think you need to go to Paris, or even some kind of fictional video game simulacrum of it to buy clothes that will make other people envious of you. You could literally go to paletteswap.shop right now and scoop up a whole new wardrobe of incredible looks. Our signature Licking Tongues band tee in particular may appeal to those of you who are missing Pokemon and music of a superior region, but if you want to embrace your inner Frenchman and smash up some private property, might as well put that righteous indignation to good use and fuck up a Cybertruck with our Street Fighter Cybertruck bonus stage tee on. And if, like many Europeans right now, you're actually fueled by your hatred of America, well, check out this Final Fantasy First Responder shirt. Try wearing this shit to a con in the States. Reactions will range from "nice shirt, dude" to "international incident" at the drop of a Stetson hat. But this just in, we don't just deal in shirts. Oh no, consider upping your game with our new Last of Us Pro golf cap. Gripping a club in both hands whilst possibly standing over the battered corpse of the man who killed your father has never felt as right as it does with this beauty sitting firmly atop your pretty little head. All this stuff and more available right now at paletteswap.shop, which will be linked in the description. And keep an eye out on our socials for much more coming to the store soon. But yeah, the outfits in this game are pretty cool. Confession time. I am jealous of a few French things. I am jealous of the boldness of their protests. I am jealous of their art. I am jealous of what they did to their monarchy. And one might ask, if this is the case, why am I so vociferous in my lambasting of them? To which I'd say, well, there was this little thing called the 7 Years' War. And there was this bigger thing called the 100 Years' War. But beyond that, I tell them that more than anything, it's because I am so tired of the propaganda around French food. Once in Birmingham New Street Station, after many glowing reviews from friends, I ate at a Leon, a restaurant chain that boasts of its Mediterranean flavours and naturally sourced ingredients. Naturally, I would have liked some sauce on that goddamn rice. Shit was whiter than the flag you were waving at the Nazis 80 years ago. Throughout Pokemon Legends ZA, your main companion and rival repeatedly cooks an inane dish they refer to as croissant curry, combining the intense, rich flavours of Galarian curries with, for whatever reason, the famed Colossian pastry. I think Game Freak intended this as a fun nod at British-French relations. I see it only as an insult, yet a weirdly incisive one. This is literally how French food works. They take something that already exists and garnish it with needless nonsense, and because it looks artful, it's praised the world over as the height of culinary achievement. Meanwhile, unpretentious British food, which is not lined with overrated pastries or sprinkled with mountain forest leaves, still suffers at the grubby hands of French propaganda. I'm sorry we don't dress up our glorious hunks of meat like they're about to be presented at the Louvre, guys. We actually want it in our mouths and not on Instagram. Despite some of its cultural faux pas, I found Legends ZA to be a light and breezy trip through video game Paris filled with friendly and personable people, and not caffeine-addled 23-year-olds who work the fact that they're French into every conversation and who, despite coming from a country famed for its arts and culture, base entirely too much of their personality on liking shonen anime. Lumio City, you're alright. I've almost forgiven you for half of those mega designs. But I haven't. Being French was one thing, but for what you did to my boy Feraligatr, I think we need to bring the guillotines back out. Never cook again. Thank you to our legendary tier patrons: Sleep Science, Stephen Strome, Bijan Imadi, Philip Tinner, Strawberry, War Crimes Uwu, Dr. Cruiser, and Dylan Varda. Thank you guys very much, and we'll see you next time. Or maybe we won't. Maybe I'll be dead. But there's only one way to find out, and that's to stay tuned.